Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me episode. I've forgotten what the boys told me to say. 518, I think. I'm one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the man on the ones and twos, returning from LA himself. It is the one and only Mr. Paul Despawn.
Yo, I am so sunburnt. It is unbelievable.
You're sunburnt. You look very brown. You look very golden. You look healthy.
I'm not, but I appreciate that.
That's okay. That's okay. You're welcome. You're welcome for that. And we have our brand new intern who has come in this week to really help out with the podcast. He's never been on a podcast before, guys. So please give a warm welcome to the one and only Crash.
Hi, I'm so glad to have this opportunity and have this chance to really prove and show myself. I plan on showing you guys I was worth putting on this podcast.
Yeah, well, you got one chance, intern. You got one chance. For people who don't know the in-joke here, for some reason, Chris got kicked from the staff MXAM Discord. I think he left.
I definitely did not leave. I opened it on my phone, and I have times where on my phone it'll bug out and it won't fully show the server. So I was like, oh, it's something like that. I went on my PC and it's still not there. I shot fixed message. What is a possibility is sometimes when I sleep, I leave my phone unlocked because I'll go to sleep watching YouTube or something like that. I don't know if you remember this. Angel Boy will attest to this. I started a Twitter. What are the talking things on Twitter?
Oh,
started that on accident while I was sleeping. Yeah, I went live on Spaces once.
Hilarious.
I don't know if it's true. So I left the Discord server. Yeah.
Oh wow, crazy. Well, welcome, intern. We appreciate you being here. Don't mess up. I'm sure the audience will love you. I'm sure you get some reviews written about you soon. All right.
Yeah.
Just keep working hard. Now, all jokes aside, it's good to be back. I feel like we haven't podcasted in ages because we did a double week last week, and then through E3 we usually do like a pre-show, post-show, yada show, but we didn't do any of that for E3 this year. So this is our post E3 episode, which is really strange because we've had, obviously, you Despawn that's been there, and Matt, obviously Matt not here this week, but it's strange to have an insight of what went on the floor compared to what we got to see at home, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah. Shout out to Matt, RIP, snakes to the eyes again. He's got to stop playing with snakes. Just saying.
Gotta start wearing glasses. The three of us glasses never get our eyes bit. No glasses.
Good point. But if you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/MyXboxandMe and all podcast services. If you would like to support the show and support what we do here, patreon.com/MCFixer. We try and keep the show ad-free. We try not to take any sponsors. We haven't ever done an ad on this show. Keep supporting us so we can remain independent and keep doing what we love to do, which is this podcast each and every week. Like I said, topic of the show, there really isn't one. There isn't much structure for this week's episode, to be honest, boys. I thought we'd just shoot the shit about E3, to be totally honest with you, and
let me get
not E3. And honestly, I don't know. It feels like a catch-up episode. It feels like a re-collaboration. Let's get back into the exciting stuff. It was. I'll start off. It was actually a really good not E3 overall, if I'm being totally honest, from my opinion. Sony come out of nowhere with their showcase. Nintendo launch a console the same week. We had Summer Game Fest. We had Xbox's showcase as well, which again, I'm sure we'll touch base on all of them. But overall, my overall thoughts, we'll start with that, I guess, I was actually really impressed by E3 this year. I actually did have a good time with it. It doesn't have that same energy or hype or moment about it like it used to, let's say, 5 years ago, but overall it was actually a really good time. I had a really good time reacting with you, Crash. I will say I had a good time.
It was a lot of fun. I agree on it not having that same oomph as it used to, but I also think that's partly a benefit. Expectations aren't as high, the deliverables don't need to be as high. What they show doesn't need to be not they'll get away with showing less. It's just that I generally feel, at least this year, like there weren't as many people let down by what was shown across the board. Whereas if you had the same exact lineup and it was still the old E3, people would have found reason to be grumpy about it. Not to say that people didn't find reasons. People always find reasons to be grumpy. I just feel like there wasn't as much of a negativity towards it this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Despawn, obviously, you got a different first E3, if I'm not mistaken. You was out there in that.
Yeah.
First E3. It will never be Summer Game Fest to me, ever.
Okay.
First, not E3. Because you know my issue? You know why it will never be Summer Game Fest?
Go on.
Because I can't rate Jeff Keighley like that. That's why. Like, because if you call it Summer Game Fest, you're giving it to Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, and PlayStation weren't a part of Summer Game Fest.
No. Yeah.
Xbox weren't a part of Summer Game Fest.
Yeah, okay. I mean, they were there at some Play Days, so they were part of Summer Game Fest, the whole thing, but they weren't part of his showcase. So
But
go on.
Yeah, I guess like, do you consider Summer Game Fest only the showcase, or do you consider it the whole weekend?
I think this is the difference between being there compared to being
and watching it at home. Okay, yeah, I agree.
At home, I'm like Xbox, PlayStation, Sony, PC Gamer, and the other showcase that happened. I look at them more separate entities. Future Game Show, of course, which were reacted to. So yeah, Matt from the Dead. I hope you suck it. Yeah, Crash, you haven't got Twitter, and nor have you, Despawn. He called me out on Twitter and said we didn't react to it.
Oh wow! Was it after that we react to it or before?
After, we'll get to it, Crash. We'll get to it. I'll get into it in more detail. I'll get to it in more detail. But yeah, I think it's a big difference between watching it at home on these separate YouTube, Twitch streams, whatever you want to say, and reacting to it, compared to being able to be there, get the behind closed door demos, get to play games, I always forget that there's something going on in LA. I remember that IGN have got their IGN Play Day thing that they do, which again, it just feels like it's too. Back in the day, it was here's E3. Here's the show floor, bam, understandable. Now, it's like, IGN have got their thing, and then Jeff's got his thing. Can you buy tickets for it, or is it invite only? I don't know. But it's like, I don't understand what the hell this is.
Even at home, the way the showcases were spread out with E3 was very much so. It was like a run of show of like, your 15-minute, half an hour break between shows, but it was generally like one after the other. Where here it's like, oh, you'll have one this day. It feels like more spaced out than it used to be.
Unless you're PC Gamer who decides to do a showcase literally directly after Xbox's, and you're like, hey, their showcase is still going on. Give us half an hour buffer. No. Straight into it. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, I mean, the logistics of all that, being on the other side of it now, it's like, it's a lot of work. So you can't just be like, just move it half an hour. It's fine. It's just not a thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Doesn't help us though. Does not. Right?
Does not. Yeah.
Well, I've got a bunch of questions for you. So number one, how was it? How was it being... Okay, let me ask you it from a work perspective. How was it working it? Obviously, Future Game Show, they had their own showcase. What was that like?
So for that one, it was one of the greatest experiences of my working life. Getting to go around LA, shooting, hitting a ton of the big spots. The biggest fun for me, being the GTA 5 fan that I am, walking around Venice Beach and seeing the pier as well. And be like, I recognize that from that bit, There was definite moments where like, I know when we turn around this corner, I'm going to see this thing here. And it's like, yep, there it is. It was wild. But yeah, no, going around LA was awesome. Hitting some of the tourist spots and just being able to film it was great. A lot of work. Do not want to shy away from that. There's a lot of work filming it all. But it was a ton of fun. If you can get my job, it means I've died or something's happened horribly to me. But yeah, if you can get the opportunity to do it, you should.
Well, Matt won't hire me, so I guess I'll never get to experience it.
Ooh.
Because he died. That's why.
I would defend Matt right now, but fuck him for saying that we didn't react to the show.
Crash, you know.
We'll get to it, Crash. I promise. We'll get to it. Okay, then on the flip side of it, obviously being in the workings, so you got to go to the Xbox showcase, let's talk about that itself. How was it?
So I didn't get to go to the Xbox showcase.
Oh, you didn't get to go?
No,
I thought you was at Xbox.
No, I got to go to Summer Game Fest showcase. So the actual Keighley showcase. That was good. it was weird coming out of it. Like it seemed like a lot of people who were there and talking about it were very like subdued. I thought there were some really good announcements. I agree there was a lot of fluff in there as well, but all in all, I think it was a good show. And yeah, like I guess I don't know. In person, it's a bit weirder. Like the crowd reactions were cool. Like being part of that and like seeing the things pop up and stuff. And yeah, we'll talk about it later. But that last announcement in the Summer Game Fest.
We're all over the place. Let's just get to it. We're on the topic. Okay. Let's just talk about it. So you got to be there. Let me tackle one thing before that.
Go.
See, it's interesting because you were in there. You was in there. And you're like, oh, there was a lot of fluff. Me and Crash, I don't want to speak for you, but I'll talk for me. Like,
yeah, no.
It flowed really well for us.
Yeah, I really liked Summer Games Fest this year compared to like previous years. I think we even mentioned it during the react about how well put it seemed together, and even everything that was shown for the most part was interesting to good.
I will say that was not my opinion. That was the opinion I was getting from people on the floor.
Right.
Like,
sure. So
the people who've been there and repeated years, and they've seen these like
it's work.
Yeah, it's work. For them, it's like it's old school. But for me, I thought it was cool. There was a couple of things I didn't care for, but all in all, I think it was a really good showing. There's some new games on the list that I'm now excited for, particularly Ill. If you remember that one, it's the...
Okay. Let's talk about it, because I've watched this trailer a few times, right? So for those who don't know, it's the Resident Evil 7/Resident Evil 8 carbon copy game. Yes, no, Despawn, do not pull faces. That looks literally like Resident Evil 7.
It gave me more like a first-person Dead Space with the monsters and the body parts that you can shoot off.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it was Resident Evil 7 vibes, but Resident Evil 7 gives off a lot of first-person horror game. So I think I'm more aligned with Despawn, and I think you're associating a whole genre of game now with Resident Evil.
Do me a favor. Look up the logo right now of Resident Evil 8.
Oh no, for sure. Like, yeah.
No. Look up.
Wait. We're gonna. I see it. I see it in front of me. We're going to associate
the logo.
So, wait. So you're saying because of the logo, they are the same? No. Because of the thing that is intangible, that is irrelevant to a game and gameplay, is the reason. That's what you're.
That
is what you're saying.
No, that isn't what I'm saying. Don't put words in my mouth. No.
What are you saying then? Why'd you bring it up?
I'm saying that is one of the things. And then look at the gameplay. The second half. Shut up. The second half. The second half of Resident Evil 7, when you're all underground, after you escape like the bakers and stuff like that, and you go underground, it looks literally like it's been pulled from there. It does. Go and look at it side by side, the trailers, and look at a scene from Resident Evil 7's basement part.
It looks. You know what it looks like? It's really fascinating what they decided to do. They put a rundown basement in the game. Why would they copy Resident Evil? That's all it is, Fix.
That's not what I'm saying. Okay, there's also a giant baby that chases you down the hallway that literally happens in Resident Evil 8. Crash, I can go on.
I don't have to defend some giant baby, but
I'm saying from literally. Remember, Crash, this is my shit. I'm not saying I don't like Ill. Ill looks great. I'm gonna play it, but to not say that it is so influenced by Resident Evil 7 and 8 is crazy.
Crazy. Here's the thing. You didn't say influence. You said carbon copy.
It does look like a carbon copy. Giant baby.
Stop. Don't say influence. Don't say influence. You can't switch between the two definitions. They are two different things.
Hey, intern, I can do what I want.
Also, let's go back to you saying this is your shit. You remember what happened when we first saw Resident Evil 9? Who is that? I don't know who that is. I've never heard of her. Oh my God, they went for whatever the game is? That's weird. This is your shit, I thought. What happened? Was it not your shit that day?
In my defense, Crash, I haven't... okay, we'll get on to Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil 9. In my defense, I haven't played Resident Evil Outbreak in maybe 15 years.
Wait.
No one else.
There's no defense needed. This was your shit. It's your shit, Fix. Why are you defending it? It's your shit. You should have this.
I did have it. Once I saw that. Once I saw the old police station.
Pull up a
Once I watched the
Wikipedia.
police station, boom! I did have to bring up Wikipedia. That is true.
Yeah.
I did bring up Wikipedia. So okay, Diesel, what was it like being there, seeing that get announced?
I felt like I could breathe a sigh of relief since the blue balled us through the entire fucking showcase.
Mad. That's why I was so shell-shocked.
That was horrible. That was the one thing
worst.
that I like. I think if somebody was like, "Oh, that was not a good showcase because of that," I could see that, because I think that is the worst part of the whole showcase.
Yeah.
It's what ruined my reaction.
I think a lot of people were like that. It's like you see, like, oh, we are working on Resident Evil 9 and we'll have something to show soon. It's like, all right, fair enough. Here's an advert for Resident Evil series. Oh, for God's sake, get on with it. And then, like, one more thing. Here it is. It's like, yeah, all right, okay. By the end of it, it's just like, you know what? I get what they were trying to do, but it just did not land. And I think a lot of people around me were feeling a similar way of like, you should have just not done the stupid things in the middle of it.
I think
it would have landed a lot better.
I think they wanted to like cut off like any rumors that would have been here. It's like, oh, it's not going to show up. It's not going to show up. And then they finally show it. And you still get that surprise factor. It obviously
didn't leak at all. Even Capcom, there was a tiny leak where they must have put the video in a playlist and then privated it because someone was like, they've added a video in the playlist. And then once the first ad played, they were like, oh, it's probably the ad that got put in there. So it kind of took them off the scent. But no, let's talk about Resident Evil 9. We're on the topic. So I'll start because now I can actually talk about it. When we did the reaction, I couldn't really explain my feelings to Crash. Crash was like, how you feeling? I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't articulate it well until I watched the trailer another 20 times, which I have now done, Crash. I'm really excited for it. And the thing I don't think I comprehended during the reaction is, and I couldn't explain to Crash, was like, we're going back to Raccoon City for the first time since the nuke. Like, it's actually crazy to think. Nah, there is a part of me that is quite worried about that. Being a huge Resident Evil fan, obviously. Like, Raccoon City is such an iconic place, right? And going back there with Remake 2 was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is how I remember it being, but it actually wasn't that because it was all pixels. It was all 16-bit, 32-bit, 32-bit, 64-bit? I don't know what bit rate it was. 64, I think, yeah. But seeing that gigantic nuke and then seeing the city, and you're like, oh yeah, we're going back. This is actually kind of mental. Yeah, it was huge. It's huge. It's interesting to see them take a character from probably the most obscure Resident Evil game ever. I guess maybe you could say Outbreak 2, just because I don't think that many people played Outbreak 2. Outbreak 1 is where this character's, her mum is a maid. If I'm not mistaken, I think she's a maid.
Private investigator. Fake
Private
fan.
investigator. Thank you. Yeah, I am a fake fan. You're right.
Knows his shit. He knows his shit.
I know my.
I don't remember Outbreak. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I don't
blame you for not remembering it.
It's the multiplayer one.
Completely reasonable.
Yeah, don't care.
The thing is, I own them. I own 1 and 2, but I'm telling you, I've not played them in like. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I have a question. Now you do your replays through the games every once in a while. Does Outbreak go into those replays now? No,
never. Oh wait, no. Now does it?
Yeah. I'm saying going
absolutely.
Forward.
There's a mod out there. There's a mod out there now that already exists that you can play multiplayer, like online multiplayer. So there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, like, yes, it's funny to do this. But I remember, the thing is, you got to remember, when I played Resident Evil Outbreak for the first time ever, I remember my mum getting it for me and everything, and me being like, oh my God, I can't wait. And obviously back then, I didn't know, I wasn't watching trailers. You was reading your magazine and then you see a picture of it, right? I remember getting it and be like, this ain't Resident Evil. Why can I move? And why am I swinging melee weapons? And like, was this online? I didn't get internet until I was 16, 17 years old. I was so late to the internet. Like, for me, I was just like, I played this game, I was like, this is awful. Couldn't read still. So I didn't have a clue what the hell was going on. So I'm going to play that game now with a whole new affinity for that world as well. It's like, wow, this is crazy. But it's so weird for them to use this character, right? Oh, no, yeah, it will be, but that's fine.
Yeah, it's weird, but it makes me interested because it's like bringing something new to the series. Like we've had the Jills, we've had the Claires, we've had the Leons, we've had all that stuff. Like, granted, we want more of those. We want them to come back. And
give me Jill.
I know. I think there is rumors that Leon's going to be a playable character in this that's been floating around.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see how that plays. I can talk about the behind closed doors thing I saw in a bit, but yeah, like. I'm interested to see like a new facet of Resident Evil be introduced into like the mainline series again, because I don't quite class 8, 7, and 8 as part of the mainline, but my mindset is always it is. I know it's mainline. It's all Chris, it's all Claire. It's
sounding
all
like Fix right now. You're sounding like Fix right now.
But it's like it was that departure going into first person. It's like it was just very much like. Not my Resident Evil at the time, but it's like now playing it back, it's like it totally is. But it's like
this game, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you both would know. It's both first and third person.
Who called that? Who called that, Crash?
It was somebody from the community. I don't remember who it was that said it.
Yeah, I don't know who. Probably Aldozo. He's always on point.
Probably.
Yeah. So I will talk about like just jumping at the behind closed doors because we're just jumping around here today. That was one of the best parts of the entire thing. Sadly, it got spoiled for him before going in, which is a shame because it would have been such a moment. But they had showed the entire gameplay preview in first person, and then right at the end, the screen glitched out a bit, and they went into the menu system, switched it to third person mode, and just carried on playing. I was like, damn, that lands. It was so good.
Yeah, I've been saying it since we got the update, right? That I reckon they were going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know if is there a preferred way the devs want you to play this game or not? Like, is it designed first person and you can play it third person, or that's kind of how it comes across at the moment?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see because there are some moments in the gameplay demo that they showed which just suit first person to a T. Like you are like hiding in a corridor and this giant hand of the enemy that you see in the trailer like grabs a corpse and just drags it past you, and I feel like that wouldn't have the same effect in third person. So I'm interested to see if like maybe those forced cutscenes stick you in first person mode for that. But yeah, I'm interested to see how that lands. But for what we saw of the third person, it looks like it works just fine. I am more interested to see with it being like a ground up built for it rather than it being added after the fact. So yeah, I'm interested to see. And if anyone can do it, it's Capcom. Come on.
No, 100%. The other thing, I got a lot of questions, but you didn't. So I forgot that for Grace. I shouldn't forget that. Her name is Grace. It is my sister's name. So there you go. My sister made it into Resident Evil. Congratulations. Nice. No, so when you saw Grace gameplay, obviously, in terms of, and from what I've again, I've been watching a lot of videos and stuff like that. From what I know, it was very much, people have been saying it's very much akin to like Code Veronica with like the lighter, especially the opening anyway, like the dark corridors, lighter her walking around. Is that right, or how are you feeling about it?
So I mean, I can give you the breakdown that I could. I've got for you. So you start off. So in the trailer, you see Grace like strapped to a gurney upside down. Yeah, that's where the demo starts. So it starts with you escaping from the gurney and then walking around this building, which we don't know what it is yet. It could either be a hotel, it could be like some kind of medical complex. But then as you walk around, it is as you describe it. It feels very much like the House Beneviento level from Village. So the dollhouse. So it is like there's no combat in the gameplay that we saw. It is very much sneaking around, solving puzzles. You got your classic puzzles, so find a fuse and to get a fuse box to open up a thing, but you've got to find a screwdriver to unlock the screw, and it's like it's all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you are walking around with a light and using that lighting source to like look around. It is like they're doing wonders with the RE engine. That engine is a godsend to Capcom. The amount of work it does. But yeah, no, it is a beautiful looking scene. But it is very much, like walking around, solving puzzles, running for your life from the giant monster. So it is very much a case of like, you don't fight in that section. There will be combat. It's a Resident Evil game, and they have said that there's going to be a departure into more action-based combat. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that plays out. But for what we saw, it was just like you being a survivor with no weapons, just your lighter and your wits to get out of there. I will say, they do a really good job of showing how smart Grace is, with the way that she escapes from the gurney and like the puzzles that she solves and stuff. So it feels like very much like she's a very capable protagonist. But yeah, I'm interested to see how long that lasts, especially when we start getting weapons and stuff.
Yeah, well, Jeff teed it up as like a departure from the series and all that crap. The way he said it, which was, I don't know, it's interesting. I'm always, I feel like it's going to be. I hope it doesn't feel like it's going to be two different games, which is like we have Grace, very much like slow, meticulous, very limited on weapons, yada yada. Then, oh my god, here comes Leon, and then it's like action packed. Kind of what happened with Resident Evil 8.
Okay.
The end of 8 when you play as Chris, it was like,
oh yeah, Chris, here's
slow, meticulous. Here's your machine guns. Here's 100 grenades. Here's you're now action packed again. Like they keep doing it, and I'm like, can we just get a through line survival horror game at this point? But yeah, very very interesting. Chris, you're not a big Res guy other than Remake, right?
Yeah.
Did the trailer do anything for you? Because again, you don't have those same touchstones for Raccoon City the way obviously I do, or this character, which I don't know the character either, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I liked it. It made me interested in it. What I really like about Resident Evil 2 is sort of the how oppressive that game feels in certain regards towards Leon, and if you play Claire, where you do feel like you're just trying to survive. And from the trailer we saw, the bits, it feels like it's very much the vibe they're going for with this game. And I didn't even think about the fact that it could go super action heavy at some point. Hopefully it doesn't do that. Because that's where Resident Evil always ends up like losing me a bit. Like I don't enjoy the more action heavy parts of those games. But yeah, what was there, I definitely think my interest more than I have been for most Resident Evil stuff I see.
Fair enough.
I will say the horror aspects feel like really well made. From, like I mentioned a bit before, where the corpse gets dragged past you to the big enemy that attacks you. When it attacks, it's about 8 feet tall and takes massive chunks out of you. Not physical, but like, it takes a massive bite into you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels visceral. I will say there's a good couple of quality of life things as well that they added in there. The main one being health. So it's the same thing. You use the health potion or the health injector, but rather than going into the menu system and like picking it and then using it, and then you have to go check your health in the menu, it pops up in the little in the bottom corner to say where your health level is. It's like just like a little overlay, like the little the wavelength lines, the heart monitor, I guess it is, just to show like where you are in your health, so you don't get like taken out of the system too much. It's just
does that come and go? So like you see it and then it disappears.
So when you use the health, it pops up or it fades in, shows where your health is at now, and then fades out again.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. It's a hard one, right? Because it's a weird balance with Resident Evil where menus are such a key moment of that game as well for a lot of old school fans. But you're right, for it to keep reaching a new audience, it has to modernize in a way that makes sense. So hopefully there's a nice middle ground there.
So to talk about the menu system, this is the nerdy bit, getting into it now. It is going back to the Resident Evil 7 menu system of just being like the small squares where I'm assuming you'll be able to add to it as you go along. But it is rather than it being like the briefcase system in 8 and Resident Evil 4 Village. Resident Evil 4 Remake. So if you like that, then you've got that. If you don't, wow.
Sorry.
Maybe when Leon turns up, he'll turn up with the briefcase. Who knows?
I wouldn't put it past him. All right, well, here's my next question for you guys. We'll move off from Resident Evil because I could be here for the whole podcast talking about it. What was the most exciting thing shown across all the showcases for you, Crash? If you had to pick one thing that was shown, what would be that thing?
It's a toss-up between two things. Clockwork, I think, is up there a lot for me.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the brand new Marvel fighting game. I think that's also very up there. There's a lot of stuff. Like you saw Mortal Shell 2, which was very exciting. Neo 3 made a showcase, which was very exciting, and I'm sure I'm missing other stuff because there was just so much shown.
Well, we can start. Let's start on Clockwork. I think that's probably at the Xbox showcase. I think it had the best showing of everything that was shown outside of maybe the handhelds, which we'll definitely get into. Yeah, it was one of those showings of a game where you're like, oh, I was interested, but I wasn't sure. And it was one of those games where it showed extremely well. Dixon, we haven't heard your opinion at all on this. What did you think of Clockwork Revolution?
I agree with you guys. I think like there was an incredibly good showing. That game has got to be far on in development at this point. Like they showed so much. I've seen a few people talking about it online. It's very much like that was the kind of trailer that comes with a release date. It's got that much info in it.
That's true.
And I'm sad that there wasn't one. But like the way that Xbox move at the moment, it very much feels like they are like dates are up in the air and they'll just fit it in where it fits in a Game Pass slot. Which makes sense. True. So like, yeah, like, but no, what they showed for this game looked amazing. I love the Victorian era. Like you are clearly not a good guy. You are you are working with a bunch of bad guys, being a bad guy, just trying to survive in the city. But I love like the art style of this. I think we saw like little dolls running around, like little Clockwork dolls and things like that. I love the humor that it's bringing. And yeah, no, I'm very excited to see more of this. Well, in fact, I'm not. I'm very excited to play this now at this point. I think I've seen enough just from this trailer.
Yeah, it definitely showed the best out of all of the Xbox first party titles for me. I agree with you on the humor. The world looks so interesting. It looks so good. Like you're right. We don't usually get a trailer of quite of this length and magnitude without a release date, but we did. Which I guess makes me even more excited because it means you would assume too much, and there's a lot more to come from it. Which I'm excited. I'm excited. It's definitely went from like when it drops on Game Pass I'll play it to like, okay, day one, please don't make me pay £10 to upgrade to play this because I might.
I really didn't expect it to look as clean as it did. Like I expected it to be a good game. It's in Exile. They make fantastic games, right? But it looked very clean. Like Despawn said, the humor seemed there. I liked how branching they seemed to make the stories. The combat looked interesting. The shooting, we'll see. That's always a question. But like, if the rest of the combat is there and the shooting isn't, it does seem like you have grenades they'll throw out, stuff like that. If some of those aspects are fun enough, I could see like the shooting not being 100%, not being the biggest issue with that game. If there's other aspects of the combat that are interesting.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Desmond, have you got one that you want to throw out there? What was your most excited outside, obviously, what we've spoken about?
Again, show my privilege here, but I did get hands-on with Directive 8020. This is the new Supermassive game. You are going to love it. You are absolutely going to love it.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Like, it combines your two favorite things, which is a Supermassive game and a Resident Evil game. Like it plays so differently from like a normal Supermassive game. Whereas obviously before in a Supermassive game, you would be, I'll go through and, I'll walk to this point, I'll hit a quick time event, I have to make a choice, I'll walk to the next point, movement in the game feels more dynamic now. So rather than it just being quick time events, you will be sneaking around and trying to avoid enemies and things like that. And it actively, that will actively have an effect on the story as well. But yeah, the game looks beautiful. What they have shown so far is very much like my jam. It's like sci-fi, The Thing, space. Showing like just all of my joys in the world when it comes to like sci-fi. I think they've got something very, very special on their hands here. I got maybe 20 minutes with the game and I came out of it thoroughly impressed.
I mean, I've been saying this about Supermassive though. Like they make great interactive stories, but I always wanted to see them do a little bit more when it came to, it's still technically gameplay what they do, but you know what I mean? It sounds like what they've done, to be honest with you. Just give me a Quarry 2 like this. I haven't played this yet, but like, give me a Quarry 2 like this, and I'll be quite happy.
Yeah, so it's very like you say, it's very much like this feels more in depth than anything. Because before I flew out, I started replaying all of them, Supermassive games, and particularly the Dark Pictures anthology, and those very much feel like on rails, like get to your quick time event. And then move on from there. Whereas, this feels more like dynamic gameplay, like you are avoiding enemies and like you're sneaking around, hiding around corners and things like that. The decisions that you make in the game have like material effects. And I'm interested to see, like, there is a few things that we can't talk about yet that I am very interested to see, like, how people react to that. But I think
confirmed.
I mean, all of the games come with co-op. Like, co-op is confirmed. Like, it's a multiplayer game, you know. But I'm very, very interested to see the reaction to some of the things that they're adding to this one. I think it's going to be very cool.
Okay. All right. My thing isn't necessarily a game, but I think it's the thing that probably got me the most hyped, which was the Xbox ROG Ally crossover collaboration. Now, I want to say that with a preface, a asterisk next to it, I should say, because the more research I've done, the less excited I've gotten.
Okay.
I'm still excited for it. I still like what's here. It looks good. The UI is obviously the biggest selling point of it, but it isn't the Xbox handheld we've been waiting for. As much as we want to, it's as close as I think we're going to get ever. I think this is it. I don't think you're going to get a native Xbox handheld, but this machine comes with so many caveats. It's scary, and I am extremely scared about the price point of it as well, especially for the X over the.
I did see some rumors on the price. I think I saw some like potential leaks.
$1,037 on the X.
I don't know about the exchange rate, so maybe, but I saw like 600 and 800 on the two SKUs, local, so UK.
It's about what I expected it to cost, but my issue is, so from all the videos I've watched and conversation pieces and things of that nature, right? Everyone said it feels great. It's an upgrade on what the ROG Ally systems are currently. It's got the ribbon, like the ribs on the Joy-Cons. Jeez, I've been playing Switch too much. The ribs on the controller mounts and things of that nature. There's a button that acts as like the function button, which is the Xbox button, but there's another button that already had that on the ROG Ally. So that's kind of just like, why is that there? It's kind of pointless being there. And then the big issue is like, the way I feel like it was sold to us was very much, and I don't know if maybe it was my interpretation of what they were saying, was like, you can play any of your Xbox games on here. And that's not the case.
No.
You cannot play any of your library on here. You can play any game that's in Play Anywhere, and you can cloud stream any of your games that are available in cloud streaming, but no, you cannot just play anything that you own on this system.
Yeah, you can play anything that is available on PC on this system.
Which is a lot.
It's a lot.
So if you use the Xbox PC app, any game you'd get through that you can use. But if you buy something specifically for the Xbox that isn't Play Anywhere, you cannot use it.
Yes.
You can stream from your console, but you can't play it natively unless it is natively available on PC. Is the answer? Which.
So it's still a good machine, and I think the good thing they've done with this is they're setting themselves up for the future with this device. Hence why they did the big everything's Play Anywhere, everything's a part of Game Pass, and like everything going forward, I feel like is going to be able to be played on this. And I suppose for someone like myself who's old games old, etc., like it isn't a big deal.
Yeah,
but I do think the way they sold it was like native gaming. You're like, oh my god, and then you start doing the research, like it's still a window machine, so it's not an Xbox, which means you can't. And I'm like, damn, close but not close enough.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I'm not that like turned off by it. Like you say, it's like old game is old at this point. Like there's not a lot in my back catalog that I'm itching to play on a handheld device, and if I did, I would have probably picked it up on Steam at this point. But like I think to talk about the positives, what they are offering here is a really interesting premise. Like it is exactly what I would want from a handheld, of being the one place I could play all of my PC games natively when I'm away from my PC. So I can play my Steam games, I can play my Epic games, because we all play our Epic games, right? You can play your GOG, you can play your Xbox PC game, you can play cloud, anything. It's all available on this one device, and it feels, what they've shown so far looks very intuitive, of like you just hold the button down, select the app you want to use, and just keep playing.
Yes.
So I do like the way that they are handling the OS.
Which is my biggest thing, right? Which I've always been, I can't be jumping through these 101 hoops to figure out how to get Game Pass on here natively and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, it's easy. And I'm like, it clearly isn't easy enough. It clearly isn't easy enough, right? Because they're designing an entire machine. Well, no. But give me a little credit. They're designing an entire machine for dum-dums like me. So it can't be that easy, is what I would say. But that's just me. Will you buy one day one? No. Interesting. Why?
Because my wife would kick the crap out of me. I'm having a baby. $800 is a lot of money to just throw on a thing that I already have comparable versions of.
Sure, 100%. I'm not. I mean, they're good reasons. Crash, you buy one day one?
Oh.
Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase it. Stop.
Yeah.
Well, you'll probably buying one day one, so then you can use it as much as you like.
I do not believe he would. No.
I can convince him. Get him on the Discord call.
I don't think you can convince him.
No.
Here's the question.
I really don't think you can convince him.
Interested.
I have a question. Fix. Will you be buying one day one?
See, I don't think so either. It's a hard sell. I'm indoors too much. Number one, like it's like, okay, cool. Maybe.
Yeah. Here's my question to you. Just to try and get it. How often do you travel outside of London for anything?
Not often enough.
Right. And when you do travel outside of your house, are you going to be are you traveling long enough for you to play a game session? Really?
Put it this way. Let me say like this to you. I went to the park the other day, right? Sent a picture. Showed you a picture. What was I holding in my hand?
You was in the Switch too.
How many hours? I was in the park for about an hour and a half. How many hours to minutes do you think I used to Switch to while I was in the park?
15 minutes.
I'm going to go like 20 max. Yeah.
0. I didn't use the thing.
Photo op.
Literally. For you guys, like literally, Haley went home for me. I was at the dentist. Haley literally went home to get my Switch 2 for me so I could take it to the park and, quote, not be bored. Instead, I sat on TikTok for an hour and a half.
Gotta delete TikTok.
Like, that's a whole different conversation. A whole different conversation. No, but like, I agree with you. It's one of those things where I think once they're out there in the wild and other people have them, I've got a bad feeling the FOMO will hit me instantly.
Yeah.
But I have a PlayStation Portal that I have literally, and I have never used. I have literally turned it on once for a video. I have a Steam Deck that comes with me to Texas, comes with me on holiday. It gets some use there. And that's kind of where I'm like, okay, maybe I sell my Steam Deck and then I get this. And then the extra £200, $250, whatever I can get for it, goes towards this. And then I've got this, and it would probably get a bit more use out of it because of the way our worlds work, right? We get codes on every platform. It makes it very much easy of like, everything is here. When I do have to go into the office in Guildford, I could take it with me and still get an hour of gaming, hour and a half of gaming on the go there. Maybe, but I do feel like I'm just selling it to myself at that point. I don't know if I'm going to use it enough. And I do think there's something romantic about it in my head. Like, oh my God, I've been waiting so long for a handheld Xbox. And I'm still looking at it like, you've got an Xbox logo on you, but you're still, and I like the UI, but I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. So that's what I mean. So I'm like, it's probably my most excitable thing to come out of the entire showcase that I might not ever own.
Yeah, I get that. Like, there is a definite use case for this, but I don't know if any of us really fit into it. It's like, yeah, like I say, if there was no other devices out there like this, like we didn't already have the ROG Ally, we didn't already have Steam Decks, we didn't already have Portals. I know they're not like for like, but there are ways to play games remotely that, like, if I didn't own any of these things, I'd be like, you know what, 800 to play all of my games wherever I am, awesome. But the fact that, you know, I own 90% of my games on Steam already, and I've got a dedicated device for that in my house and outside now, it's like, do I need it? I don't think I do.
I think that's actually kind of the hardest thing for this to sell. And it plays Steam games, and that's great, right? It'll natively be able to play them, and that's fantastic. But for a lot of people that I feel like this would go for, your whole Xbox is going to be available on this now. Only the stuff that's Play Anywhere. And then for Steam libraries, people who would be interested in this, assumedly would already have either a Steam Deck or the other Asus, whatever, already. So they wouldn't need to go for this. And so it puts it in a kind of a weird situation where they're hoping I would assume that it's a big hope on the Game Pass front that holds enough weight with this to get people to want to move to this. And not that you couldn't figure out how to get Game Pass to work on those other platforms. But I would assume that that's like the main pushing force for this.
I think their big issue for me is they've got to give me a game. They need to give me a game on Game Pass that I feel the need to keep coming back to regularly. And then this machine would be perfect. Because right now I'm looking at their library, right? Where I'm like, okay, for games that I care about specifically, right? Like Fable. I'm going to play that mainly at my desktop. I'm talking about my own experience here. I'm sure for other people it's differently. But like for me, it's like I'm going to play that. I'm probably going to stream it. I'm not really going to play that on a handheld. Gears of War, same thing. State of Decay, same thing. I need a game that is live service or something of that, or like a bad example, but like a Football Manager, an Age of Empires, something like that I can play regularly. That's my jump in, jump out game. But it's like I need my fix constantly with me. So it's like we're downstairs on the sofa, and I'm like, oh, I just want to help grind resources right now for Division 3, hypothetically, whatever it is. Like, you know, I need something like that on Game Pass for me to really feel like I'm going to invest in this.
Yeah, well, the two things I would say to that is, one, they seem to be pushing Silksong as that game, as the game you want to be playing everywhere. I don't think it is. Like, I know people are excited for Silksong, but yeah, like there is a specific audience for a side-scrolling, you know, Souls-like kind of thing. And then on the other side of that, can I speak to you about my Lord and Savior Dune Awakening?
Jesus Christ. You're not the only one. Spoke to P Money, I spoke to Lou as well, big streamers and stuff. Everybody is on this game right now.
People are loving it right now.
Loving it.
Rightfully so. It is the right level of MMO light that I wanted from a video game, especially from a series that I love. Like, I love the Dune franchise. I love that universe, and they've done such a good job with those opening few hours. Like, in fact, I don't even know how many hours I'm in already, but let's just say that, like, I first got to play it like Friday night after finishing some editing, and yeah, I played till 2 a.m. Yeah, 9 hours already, and I only started it on Saturday.
You know my problem with that game? You know my problem with that game?
Go on.
It's Dune.
Yeah,
that's my big issue.
Okay.
Yeah. No, generally that's my big issue.
Yeah, it's hard to like actually get into it for that reason. Okay. I've heard people say it's like, oh, if you've liked Ark or any survival game, really, you will like this game. It's not a question of whether you like Dune. You don't need to like Dune. The two people that this game goes for are the people who like Dune and the people who like survival games. So I theoretically, if I played it, I'm sure that I would love it. Yeah, I just like the Dune hurdle is like the big thing that I'm like, I don't know.
I'd say, like, if you can get over that hurdle, I think you're going to find an amazing game here. I think they've really nailed what a survival game is, from the whole point of surviving on a desert wasteland. Like, those early moments of like every moment being such a hard slog to survive. So then you start upgrading your gear and you start getting suits that will help you replenish water and stuff like that. And then you start unlocking, and they do a real, like, the upgrade system is so well done. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of Ark, of like, you use research trees to unlock the next thing. And then, the next thing is like you're 9 hours in like me and you're stealing people's blood to transfer it into water. That's the thing. You steal enemies' blood to like siphon out the water from it and use that to survive.
Okay,
and right now,
I also heard. Go ahead.
I was going to say, right now I've got a base out the side of a cliff with a little downstairs garage for my little quad bike, where I'm riding around the desert being chased by sandworms, and it is the coolest fucking thing in the world.
And you're enjoying it solo, no issues. You're having a great.
Yeah. Because I've so right now I'm still in the solo section of like, I've got to the second area. It is very like it is PvE in this area. There is a PvP VE area, which is the deep desert, but I've not unlocked that area yet. So is it pretty much like, the way I look at it is like the Dark Zone from Division, of like you can run around the PvP area and try and do harder missions and stuff like that, but there's the risk of other people killing you, or you can stick to the PvE side and like get some unlocks through that, and just enjoy your time with that. Like there are moments like I've come up against players and they've attacked me and they can't hurt me because it's PvE, but then we can start running through these instance dungeons together and like start taking out enemies, and it is it is very, very cool. And it's super easy to squad up. Apparently I've not done it myself, but I've seen other people do it, I just
sounds so fun. It does sound a lot.
I've heard like
it is
it free to play?
No,
you have to buy it.
So it is a one-time purchase, but it's for like, it's a full MMO kind of like game, but it is a one-time only purchase. There's no subscription. There is DLC packs that are coming in the future, but it's just adding extra missions and things like that to it, so nothing too major, and there's a lot of content in it already as far as I can tell.
From my understanding, like the two takeaways a lot of people have was the separation between PvE and PvP, which can ruin a lot of survival experiences online, where you're not constantly in PvP. It is specific areas, like you mentioned, that have the PvP aspect to it, and then it's also the game features like quests that you can actually do, which I don't know how like deep they are, but that seems to be the next big thing for like survival games. I know the RuneScape survival game as well is going in the direction of adding quests and stuff like that for you to do, where a lot of times it was just like barren exploration. It seems like they're adding more depth to the game in that sort of way. But it seems like those two are at the forefront for a lot of people having like really cool experiences, on top of like the sandworm and avoiding getting eaten by the sandworm and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
Game of the year?
I don't know yet, but it's definitely one that's captured my attention. But
just remember, Clair Obscure does exist.
Yeah, I know. Clair Obscure does exist. And that's my problem. The story is like the key for me is like I get involved in a game story more, and I think Claire's does better. Oh, I think what they've built here is really special. I'm very excited to play more of it. Like once we stop recording here today, I'm going to be spending my evening playing it. And like I love the roadmap that they've got going on here, of like the way that games and like you mentioned, the quest system is very good. It is kind of like fetch quest, but not in a case of like go get 10 of these things, go get 12 of them things. It's very much a case of follow this upgrade path to unlock this. Like you said, I unlocked my my little buggy that I've got, my little quad bike, and there is a quest system to do that, which then leads you off to do it. But then as you've unlocked that ability, there's then quests to say, all right, I need you to build me a quad bike or give me the parts so I can build my own. And so it kind of like it all leads in very well together. Or there'll be ones where it's like, right, there's this dungeon area. I'm using that as for want of a better word, but go into this dungeon, find this specific item. So you've got to fight your way through a dungeon to get this specific item. So it is very like in depth of like, it's not just like go mine 400 stone for me and bring it back. Like there are those like to start off to like as it introduces you to the quest system, but as you carry on playing, it gets very in depth and very cool.
Interesting. Have you heard of a game called Final Fantasy Online?
I have. I've heard of it. I've played it. Not for me.
If you ever fancy Planet Crush, I'll go back. Chris, you want to go back?
There's no shot.
I'll go back. I'll go.
We go back.
I'd go back.
We go back.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, Crash, did you know a little game called Final Fantasy VII Remake? Coming to Xbox. So, Crash, let's get into it. Let's get into this. Let's talk to this.
Yep.
So I put on Twitter, oh my God, I finally won my bet, like 5 years in the making, blah, 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 blah. Whatever, yeah?
Yeah.
Why are you pulling faces?
You didn't win your bet. Your bet expired so long ago, Fix. It expired so long ago. My God. That bet doesn't, as far as people are concerned, that bet never existed. Like, what bet? That's the response people should have. Yes.
You're disrespecting me in turn. I'm gonna need you to relax, okay?
The bet, yeah, of course. The bet you just won, Fix. Of course, yes.
The bet that I just won. So I tweeted that. Then I tagged Matt saying you better be a man of your word. So he put back like you was a man of your word when you said you would react to the future game showcase. So I sent him the link. Didn't hear a response. Didn't see no response. Didn't see no response. No response.
Left a heart. I assume it was him who left a heart on the.
I was either him or somebody else, which I assume is somebody else.
Oh.
Interesting. Anyway, it was Final Fantasy. It's finally on Xbox. It's absolutely humongous. Shout out to Square Enix, because as much as I like to hate on Square for not being there day one, it's finally there now. And to have it eases my pain a little bit as an Xbox fan, right? When you're seeing games like Gears and Halo and all this stuff that are going on PlayStation, and you're like, that seems wrong. That seems wrong. Square Enix are the ones who have come out and gone, have this iconic game, which I know it's not, it's an, for me it's an iconic.
Oh, it's iconic game, as hell. Yeah.
Outside of 15, like it's the game that got me into Final Fantasy, like, and really buying artwork and all this other stuff. So for me, it was absolutely huge. And then to double down on that and then give us 16 day one out now. I do have a code for it. I am doing a giveaway stream for it. Square Enix sent me a couple of codes to give away on Twitch. So I'm going to play the opening over on my channel. So I might do like one giveaway there. Then I'm thinking to switch over to the My Xbox and Me channel. The MXAM official channel, and do a giveaway there as well. So giving some people some chances to win a code for that. But yeah, man, are you tempted to play it again, Crash? Is this enough reason to get you to play it again? Or
kind of. I've been wanting to play it. Final Fantasy 16 had the whole DLC packs come out, and I didn't touch the DLCs. I do kind of want to go through and at least play those. If not, like, part of me wants to just replay the games again.
16 or 7?
16. 7 as well. I always want to replay. There's always a thought in the back of my head to replay, remake, and either finish or restart Rebirth. Whole thing.
Oh yeah, you didn't finish it.
No.
Oh, that hurts.
It's just so far gone. It's one of those where I think back on going back to finish it. And I have this thought a lot on going back to finish it, but it's been so long that it's like I feel the need to restart it, which is a flaw. I don't think I should have to restart it.
That's a bad idea, brother.
Yes. Oh, 100%. But it's like the dilemma I have with that game.
So you've got two options here. It's like you either finish it or you just wait until the third one gets a release date and then restart it. Yeah.
Which is what I might end up doing. We'll see. We'll see. I'm always tempted, but there's so much stuff, especially this year, coming out for the rest of the year. We'll see.
Yeah.
And are you excited for it, Despawn?
Oh, yes. So excited. So here's the thing. Will I replay it? In the future, maybe. Will I buy it day one? Probably. I did this with Death Stranding. Like, if companies start bringing their games to Xbox, I will probably pick them up just to support that. And yeah, Final Fantasy VII is definitely one of those ones that I will support wherever it turns up. Like, I will probably pick it up on Switch 2 to have a second game when it comes.
No, that's too far. It's too far.
No, you think? Maybe pick it up on PC on Steam and just play it on my Steam Deck?
That's literally what I'm thinking of doing.
Yeah, same. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll just buy it everywhere. Maybe, I'll forget the fact that I'm trying to raise a child and just buy Final Fantasy VII wherever it belongs.
Your child can live off of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, it can, yeah.
You need to eat, just put it in front of Final Fantasy VII. They got food in this
Stop
game.
crying. Here's Clad. He cries enough.
Yeah, he's a little bitch. 16 as well. I'm like Koresh. I never did the DLCs, so like this might be a good opportunity to do that.
I never finished 16. Period.
Oh, man.
I couldn't get over the way their side quests work.
Yeah.
The side quests in that game just wasn't fun for me.
It's literally the fact that they make Final Fantasy 14 and it's literally MMO fetch quest is what it is. And there's like cool narrative and world building tied to them. They're not at the forefront, too far in the back where you have to do too much mental work to make it bigger than what it is. I feel.
And we all know I can barely struggle to think straight, let alone think about anything else. The only thing I will say is it would probably be a cool streaming experience right now because everyone's beating it so much that now I could probably go back and play it again. Here's a hint, take a ret. Which is how I like to experience games. But yeah, I am tempted. I am very tempted to do a full playthrough, but yeah, when 7 gets to Xbox, oh my god, I'm ready. I'm absolutely ready. I saw people complaining, by the way, that they only announced remake and not rebirth. And I'm like, it's obviously coming. Like, you can only put in one game. Like, just let them. They just announced 2 games. Not going to announce 3. Like,
let them cook. Yeah, it's like they only announced remake for. Did they only announce remake for Switch 2 as well?
You did a solo. Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So they didn't even announce 16 for Switch 2. So
you
know, like. For now, though. So, I think it'll come.
£450 machine. £450 machine. Here's one for you because we're jumping around today. We have something fun with it. Any buyer's remorse on your Switch 2 yet?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I own it now, so whatever, but yeah. I will see. So I've got some plans on Wednesday where I'm going to have some friends around and we're all going to play Mario Kart. I'll see how I feel after that. But right now... yeah.
Well, I'm with you. I'm. So I played on stream, like did 2 different streams. I had a great time playing car. Played online, had fun. I then went on TikTok, and I'm seeing everyone who has now learned the skips. I don't know if you've seen this at all.
Yeah, I've seen a couple pop
and
up.
Some of the skips are absolutely filthy. They make me feel sick, and I'm like, man, gaming's just not fun anymore, is it?
Yeah, well, you can just.
I actually, I had a conversation with a friend about this actually the other day, and it was very much so like gaming is not the same as it is in a lot of ways, especially anything that's online related, because it gets ruined through YouTube Shorts and TikTok and whatever. Everybody wants just the fastest, most efficient effect. Where people are like, gaming's not how it used to be, and I'm like, a lot of times developers still make the same game. People just don't treat the games the same. Don't play the game the same.
Everyone's min-maxing everything, and it's just like I saw the one where it's like a TikTok or a short pop up about how to unlock all of the outfits and all of the cars in like 20 minutes, and I'm like,
yep,
I don't want to do that. I've spent like £50 on, well, technically £80.
No, you haven't. You spent £450 on that one. No, generally, there's like we're having an honest conversation. We spent £450 on car.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I spent more because I got the Pro Controller as well.
I'm trying to get a Pro Controller. I went to like 4 different shops to try and get one, so don't worry. If I could, I would have.
Yeah, but yeah, no.
Well, you didn't really. Not $450 on cart. Let's not do that. Is cart the only thing you're ever going to play on this?
Because there's nothing else on it.
It's the only thing you'll ever play on it.
Donkey Kong comes out, no. Yeah.
The answer is no. You didn't spend $450 on cart.
I did rent now.
You spent $450 to play on cart now, sure, but you didn't really spend $450 just for cart. That the system exists past cart. When the next thing you want to play, it's that you already have the system.
We all know, excuse me, for a fact, you spent £450 to play the next Mario Party.
Well, the update for Mario Party Jamboree, don't forget, that's coming soon.
Yeah, there you go. You have that already. Stop $450 for Mario Kart whenever that comes.
I did I guess I did also, because I'm an idiot, pay for the online expansion update. So I was just on the normal online. I didn't. For the free upgrade. So I'm going to try going through Tears of the Kingdom again, because I never finished that.
Is that just for the Zelda upgrades you get through that?
Zelda one, the 2 is free on there.
Yeah, so those are the 2 upgrades that are a part of that for the Switch 2. Don't think anything else has been announced yet, but you can quote me on that one. So yeah, so we'll see. But I'm assuming there will be more in the future. It's you know, it's this new age of Nintendo where they will try and double dip us on all of the old stuff.
See, I don't think it will be free for the rest of them, though. I think this was like a grace period, like because Jamboree's not on there.
Is it not? Well, is it not part of the online subscription?
No, you have to pay £25 to get the new content and whatever else.
Absolutely, fuck that.
You'll be buying it when I want you to buy it. All right, both of you hear it. You'll both be buying it. I need someone to play it with.
So what will happen is something that's never happened before. Is you keep telling us, "Oh, if you want to play a game, we'll expense it. You will be expensing that. That will be the one.
And I will have absolutely no issue paying it. Not a problem at all.
Cool. All right, expense report coming in.
No problem. Just invoice me, PayPal invoice me, and it'll get paid. No issue. Awesome. No issue. But I mean, that's a great transition onto a game that did get announced. Lego Party. Did you see that one, D-Spawn? Did you get to play it?
No.
Do you remember this?
I remember it. So little behind the scenes insight, walking around play days. Nobody touched that game.
That's because they're a bunch of haters.
Yeah. Like, so I walked past
of haters.
Yeah, I walked past indie games, been playing constantly. You couldn't get an interview slot in there at all. FBC Firebreak was popping off. Crimson Desert looked great. Lego Party, not a single person was sat at a sofa while I was wandering around.
Yeah,
it's not a game to preview.
I'm not too surprised. I feel like you could get party games to show. I feel like in general, a Lego game that's not like attached to an IP isn't going to get as much love as at an event like that.
That's, you know what, Chris? That's a good point. Would this game have done better if they could have brought in Marvel, Pirates of the Caribbean?
I think if you have like Joker and
Indiana Jones, DC,
and Iron Man or something pop up, and then it goes into a party game, I think you get people in that line. I think the fact that it's like generic like Lego stuff.
Do you know what? That's a really good point. Well, I wonder, that would have been a nightmare to pull off, I guess.
Yeah, you would have to go and make new deals with everybody, I assume. I wouldn't be surprised if going forward they make Lego games for stuff. There'll be, depending on how popular this is, there'll be like some stipulation of like, oh, these characters can be in the game or whatever the case is.
We're all going to play this though, right?
Maybe.
You guys don't like party games.
This is not the Xbox party game you've been wanting.
No, but I've wanted this for a long time.
A Lego party game?
No. Somebody, I don't understand how this hasn't happened beforehand, because the closest thing we got to this was like Pummel Party on Steam, and then Crash Bash back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that more. This is literally. Have you seen it? It's literally a golden brick that you're chasing around. Yeah, that's the star. It's literally just rip-off.
It's Mario Party.
I love it. I showed Haley it. She was like, I'm in. When do we play? I'm like, yeah.
When it launches.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. All right, D-Spawn, anything we've not spoken about that you really want to talk about? Yeah.
I think I've covered the major ones. Saw a bunch of famous people that I recognize and didn't speak to because, they're working and I didn't want to annoy them. Actually, I lie.
Such as?
So Greg was about, Greg Miller.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard of him. Oh my God, my brain's just gone. James and Elise Willems were there.
Nice.
In fact, most of the OG Funhouse gang were there. The ones that didn't get cancelled. Jeremy Dooley from Rooster Teeth was there as well.
So
yeah, and Shuhei Yoshida popped up as well.
Did you say hello to Shu?
I did say hello to Shu.
Lovely guy.
Didn't remember us at all, but he was very polite about it. He's clearly
done like
400 interviews that day, so it was like,
exactly.
It was amazing. Like, we said hi. It's like, hi Shu, how you doing? It's like, then we introduced like we're from Future Game Show. Like, oh yes, I remember you now. But yeah, it was very much like that. The most awkward interaction I had was I bumped into Spencer Agnew from Smosh Games.
Oh yeah.
The first time I had the courage to say hi to someone who wasn't Shuhei, and then shook his hand in 3 really awkward ways in the space of about a minute.
All right, mate, I've been there.
Yeah. And then we just started talking about Resident Evil, and it was cool.
Perfect.
Yeah. In fact,
Perfect way to sit on the nerves.
Yeah. And then, exactly. The one thing I would say is, as well as seeing Resident Evil, we also did get a look at Onimusha, Way of the Sword. So this is the remake.
Yeah.
So again, another hands-off one, but they played through like a really big section of that. It looks cool. It's a lot more slower paced than the action. Like would have you believe, running around with a sword and stuff. But it is very it's very built on the parry system, things like that. But then the boss fights are they're very in depth and cool. I think that was.
I want it because it's not. I want it because it's not Souls-like. Generally, that's how I feel about that. It's like,
okay,
I want that game because it's not Souls-like.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you go back and watch these last 3 showcases that we've been referencing throughout today's show, oh my God, how many Souls-likes have we got? It's ridiculous.
With the fact we opened Summer Game Fest with Mortal Shell 2, this is like, okay.
I was so shocked. It did. It looked
good.
It looked significantly better, and like it had a way bigger budget than the first one.
Yeah.
Which is part of the reason why when we were watching, I was like, oh, it's it's a Souls game. Oh, it looks like Mortal Shells. It's not Mortal Shells. Was because of how the budget that it looked like that. Anybody who's not watching the podcast, Despawn's blank screen right now. His camera's acting up.
Despawn might not have a camera for the rest of the show, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. Despawn, did you get to try out Murder Mystery?
No.
Okay. I'm kind of interested in Killer Inn, I think it's called, not Murder Mystery.
Oh, Killer Inn. No, I didn't get a chance to play that either. But yeah.
I'm back.
Hi. No. I heard good things from people who did.
Yeah, I was interested in that, but then a little bit less interested because it's 24 players.
So did you say only 4 or 24?
It's 24.
Okay. Jeez, okay.
That's a lot of people. And so I'm like, for me, it depends like how much can you scale the amount of people you play with. 24 is a lot of people, and if you want to like set up a lobby or whatever, or is that a game that they incentivize you to play online and then have to think more about the
Yeah, I'd be interested to see on that one.
I didn't realize it was 24 player, but I'm just reading that, yeah.
Let me make sure.
Oh, you're right. It says it right here.
I am? Okay. Yeah.
It's a 24 player online game. Players split into 2 teams. There's no release date yet, but the closed beta test is reportedly on its way. Yeah. Interesting. Before we do move on or whatever we're doing for the rest of the crash, have we tried out Lies of P yet? That's obviously out.
I've tried it. I've played it.
You beat it?
Wow.
Yeah, I beat it. I beat games sometimes.
I didn't know you had it in you.
Yeah,
How is it?
It's really, really good. The story in it is fantastic. It is, I think, for me, the height of any storytelling in a Souls experience in general. Like, I think specifically the narrative that they have in this. And they strike the perfect balance where we've talked about Souls-like games, and particularly Elden Ring, and the way they do storytelling, and it's very environmental, and it's sort of like you'll go places and see things and you put together the story. Lies of P does a really cool thing with this, and I hope they take it into the sequel whenever that ends up coming, of being able to mix the environmental storytelling with also this like string of like direct you get. There's a good amount of cutscenes. The final boss is very tied to whatever you're doing, where in Souls games, sometimes the final boss feels like it comes out of left field and you don't really understand it. Here, it feels like, oh, that makes sense. That's the final boss. It has some of my favorite weapons in a Souls game, which isn't surprising. I think the weapon system in Lies of P in general is very, very cool. Like I was walking with a giant like pinwheel that while you're running or you dodge, it starts spinning and you get longer attacks off of that. I thought that was very cool. You get the gun blade, which was really dope. There's a few bosses that I think are phenomenal. It has my favorite 2v1 boss where they showed it off in the trailer. It's the person who has the puppet attached to them. The puppet's moves are very telegraphed, so where a lot of times you fight a 2v1 boss, it feels like the attacks are very random or you can get very overwhelmed. Here it's like everything's very well telegraphed where you know how to counter it, but it still is you fighting 2v1 people at the end of the day.
Fuck that lion from
Elden Ring.
2v1 bitch, fuck him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck him twice on Tuesdays as well.
Yeah.
Twice on Tuesdays.
Twice on Tuesdays.
Would that be 4 times? Both of them, or just?
But just him, just the lion, dickhead. I got past the other one. It was the lion that kept fucking killing me, dickhead.
Yeah.
Hate him.
So when in Night Rain, where you fight the sword master and the other one as well, 2v1ing, yeah, it's just like
didn't get that far.
I mean, the thing about Night Rain that isn't as bad is you're 3 people in that.
People,
so it's like, you're already like, at worst with Night Rain, as far as I've seen, it's like they make it even where it's 3v3.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah. Lies of P Overture, it has way more bosses than I thought it would. I want to say it's like 15 to 20 hours. It might be 10 to 15-ish. I don't know how much time I had on it, so it was kind of hard to tell.
How much is the DLC?
It is $30.
Okay, that sounds about right for what you get.
I think they consider it an expansion. I believe they've called it an expansion as opposed to a DLC.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, as
is it standalone?
No, you need the base game. You need to get to a specific part in the base. The way these games always do it. Yeah.
How far in do I need to be?
You need to be towards the end of the game, which makes sense. It is like the enemies and stuff you fight. It's very Shadow of the Erdtree, where it's like they are tough and not easy to kill.
Okay.
I do feel like the scaling in Lies of P. I was on New Game Plus as well, so my perception of that is a little bit off. But the scaling of you getting deeper into the game, I feel, isn't as bad as Shadow of the Erdtree, where Shadow of the Erdtree remains unreasonably. It's very hard to farm and get strong. Where I feel like that's not the case with Lies of P, because it still uses your traditional level system. It doesn't introduce some new leveling mechanic to you.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right.
Here's a question: Do we have to play it for Game of the Year? With it being an expansion, is it going to be classified?
No, I don't think it'll be. I might make an argument for somewhere to be somewhere in there, but I don't think I'd make an argument with you or anything like that. Okay. Wait for Matt P to play it. Once Matt plays it, 2 people to have an opinion on it. It'll be easier to like say whether I don't think so. Would be my answer for right now.
That's cool.
Fair enough. I'm looking for the Xbox showcase. To just talk about the Xbox showcase a little bit. Are we surprised that we didn't get any Fable? Like, I mean, that's my biggest takeaway from that showcase. Honestly, is no Fable.
Yes, but I think I know what Xbox is going for. So they do the direct. We also have the Gamescom thing. They also do the direct in January.
Yeah.
My guess is for that showcase, they're going to do Fable, the new Gears of War, Forza game, and then whatever that
Halo
game they teased, which is probably the Halo remake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it'll be that with the surprise third-party game thrown into the mix somewhere in there. And that'll be like, here's Xbox for the year. And if all those games end up coming out next year in 1 year, it'll be a very big year for Xbox. We'll see.
Yeah.
He ended, didn't he, with this is the quote, sorry. Players will get to celebrate 25 years of Xbox with a new Fable, the next Forza, Gears of War E-Day, and the return of a classic that has been with us since the beginning.
Yeah. The only thing that really fits there is Halo. Right?
Crimson Skies.
I mean, sure.
Frenzy.
Sure.
That is a big year, though, isn't it? But it also, sorry to interrupt you again, but that does also kind of mean we're not getting. What the hell is State of Decay, bro? Like, what the hell?
I think. So here's the thing. I think all the ones we already mentioned. I think it makes sense to say either at the end of the year or the beginning of next year, and just like 25th year. Here's the big blowout. Here's the big guns that we know Xbox is known and loved for, like chucking a new Forza on top of it and all that kind of stuff. So State of Decay State of Decay 3 right now is very much that game of like, just give us it. I want it. I need it. Just give me news. Just give me a crumb. Just a crumb. That's all I want.
I there's a few things. There's still no Everwild stuff. Which
dead. Come on.
Yeah, you'd assume so, but it's definitely not dead. And I think that, like, looking at this Xbox showcase, I think it was a phenomenal showcase. I'm not gonna, downplay it, but there is a empty hole in it to a degree with the amount of stuff we've seen before that has not come back. You can throw Contraband into that as well. Like, there's stuff that you would have expected to see in some regard that's just not here and hasn't been talked about or shown from Xbox. That is a little bit disappointing about this, and not necessarily that I blame them, because they still had a lot of cool stuff to show. But yeah, it leaves question marks, and not bad question marks, just where are some of these titles and do they still exist?
Just where is Despawn? You know, just
Where
these
am I?
question marks. Like, where is
He's just
Despawn?
gone.
Where is Despawn? So just so we're clear, it's very hot in the UK right now. So just for that, and for anyone watching the video
And my camera's
version,
feeling it, yeah.
and Despawn's camera is like, please put water in me, but don't do that. To go through, I guess, a few more things. Like, did anyone get excited for Black Ops 7?
No. God, no.
I was not interested. I became interested, and then I lost all interest that I ever had in that game. And I was like, okay, that's I get the ending on Black Ops 7. I do not like the ending 7 for the showcase. I think it was good overall for the showcase. It was not good for me to end on.
No. It's a weird one, right? Because it was very much that Cold King of like, all right, we're at the end of the showcase now. We're about to have this big Outer Worlds 2 like deep dive. Let's just chuck this wet blanket of a Black Ops 7 announcement in between that. And it's just like, okay.
Call of Duty is not and one more thing announcement.
No, that's an announcement. That's not here's a little thing, right?
It's like I see Fix's face, and Fix can be like, but it's huge, it's big. Not a and one more thing announcement.
No.
Call of Duty is the expected. It's the normal. It's the normal to have a Call of Duty every year. So the Call of Duty being the one more thing, and I get they haven't talked about it, they haven't shown it. It just felt like a little like, man, like there was supposed to be a big puff of smoke and the machine fucked up and it just a little poof, you know?
A poof.
Yeah.
I guess the argument would be that it's the biggest IP that they own ever.
Oh, for sure. Let me tell you, I get Xbox's decision to do that. It makes 100% sense. I'm not saying it doesn't. I just don't feel like the expectation of how it would work and how it actually worked, I don't think is 1-to-1. I don't think Call of Duty is even the biggest thing shown there. Or like they got the biggest reception out of things shown.
Again, it's a hard one because again, obviously I put my reactions up on YouTube and I'm getting for being a fake Call of Duty fan, which I am. Even though I've played every year for the last, I don't know, 20 years, but sure, no problem.
Yeah, I want to say you're fake. More of a fair weather fan.
Well, yeah, but I agree, but whatever. Exactly. It's an interesting one because it does have the internet talking. Obviously, there's rumors that Warzone's getting sunset. We're going back to Blackout with Black Ops, which that kind of has me. Again, I've not been into Warzone since COVID. Probably would be fair to say, right?
Yeah.
Blackout would be fun to go back to attachments and no more loadouts and stuff like that. I kind of like that idea.
I preferred Blackout to Warzone personally. I think when Warzone first came out, I preferred like there was a jump in Warzone, but then the longer it lasted, it was like I preferred because Blackout felt like there was more randomness to it. Whereas with Warzone, at a certain point, it became like, oh, you want to get your loadout. You want to get the loadout that you're best with or has the best guns. And it just became sort of a rinse and repeat. The only the big differentiators were where does the circle end? Or with Blackout, it felt like it was a bit more random.
Yeah. No, I get that. I do get that. It's I'm somewhat excited about it. Again, I think it was hard because I was expecting it to be what they called Ninja Theory. I thought it was Ninja Theory's game because it looked like their studio there with like the whole setup and everything. So yeah, I don't know. It's a hard one, but overall, man, E3 pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. There's so many games we haven't even mentioned. James Bond got shown. Yeah. Finally got to see James Bond's new Silent Hill, which looks great.
Looks amazing. Yeah.
Yep. Obviously, got see more Ghost of Yotai. We obviously first spoke about the Marvel fighting game that looked great. Final Fantasy Tactics.
I want to talk about Invincible Versus real quick. Which I was not super excited when it showed up because it's a 3v3 game and I already saw Marvel game and I'm like, that has my tag team mind like been captured. But it's being made by the old people who worked at Double Helix back when Double Helix made Killer Instinct. So there's a lot of like the design philosophy behind Killer Instinct of the way fighting games usually you have turns in fighting games, even though it's not obviously not a turn-based game. It's like you're defensive, offensive. Killer Instinct had ways to like break combos and stuff like that wasn't reliant on meter and stuff like. And so it was very you always have a turn to do something, and if you fuck up, it's detrimental to you. And so it seems like this game's also incorporating some of those ideologies, not in the same way that Killer Instinct does, obviously, but it got me very much more excited for it after the fact. That I'm very much looking forward to that game as well.
But it's not Killer Instinct, so who cares?
Might be the closest thing we ever get to Killer Instinct, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It'll be
not
back.
really. Not really.
Fresh.
My thing is, by the time it comes back, it's not going to be the Killer Instinct I want. It's getting too far gone from the Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
We got Battletoads, Crash.
Really care about us.
Anything could happen.
Yeah, true. And there's the John Mack collection coming out. That's
not true. That's not true.
It's kickstarted. It's coming.
You got to kickstart.
Yeah,
remember, you have to kick with the amount you've spoken about. If I don't see your name in the credits, you're a hating ass hater.
Good point. That's a good point.
I know we're looking, so I'm gonna buy the game when you played it.
Just to get to the end to see the credits.
Literally.
That's fair. That's a good. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be back in it. My name's gonna be in those credits. Don't worry.
You haven't done it yet tells me everything I need.
Oh, I went on the 10th to back it. It wasn't live yet.
It was live. That's
cool.
true.
Yeah.
Live now, though. Live now. Just saying.
We're doing the podcast now. I can't stop doing the podcast.
No, that's fine. You can only do it at these two particular moments in time. You're right.
Exactly.
High on Life 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm a bit worried we heard no voice acting.
Yeah, well, again,
No.
mentioned about people getting cancelled. Yeah.
Sure, but I mean, that game lives and dies on the characters of the
We
guns.
didn't even see the humor of it. Like, it's going to live up to the same type of humor. It also, not surprising, but it's not gameplay. It's a lot of like CGI stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
It was all CGI, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So there was nothing really tangible. Be like, hey, this is where we're going with it. Or this is the humor still there, or whatever. There's nothing to really pull on with that. I'm excited for it.
You saw the two guns kissing. What do you want?
Sure. Yeah.
Smooching pistols.
Yeah, you know what? I'm excited for. I get to have smooching pistols.
Smooching pistols, baby.
Just give each other little kisses.
Did you ever beat the first one?
No, I didn't. I wasn't a huge fan. So like the humor now, like the humor being different for me might not be a bad thing. But for me, it's still more so like the gameplay didn't super capture me in the original, and that was more so my biggest issue. So when there's no gameplay here, plus you're not seeing the tone of the humor. There's nothing really to get attached to.
Fair enough. Got a new Plague Tale Legacy, Renaissance.
Looked as a concept thing, looked very cool. I've been excited for Plague's Tale.
Story of the Minotaur
Plague
looks
Tale's
interesting.
awesome. What was that?
The Story of the Minotaur. So it looks like it's using the Story of the Minotaur from back in the day.
Sorry, yeah.
The Greek myth.
Yeah,
it looks interesting. I'm interested to see how they handle that.
Well, it looks like it's going to be more action focused as well, because obviously Plague Tale is mainly a stealth game. So yeah, I'm interested. I've been a big Plague Tale fan ever since I interviewed the devs for it many moons ago. Enjoyed the first game, enjoyed the second one, beat them both, and yeah, I'm done. I think it's in Game Pass. I can't remember. Was this in Game Pass or not?
There's a lot of stuff in Game Pass.
I can look it up and find out for you.
I don't think. Game Pass Play anywhere. It is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
I got to trade in front of me. Yeah,
I want to say 2 was in Game Pass.
They
both showed up at one point.
Yeah, but one did launch in it, but 2.
Yeah, it came afterwards. Yeah,
2 did launch in it. Look, let's plug, and get ourselves out of here, because poor D's cannot handle it. We'll go back to normal, regular scheduling next week. This week, like I said, was just sort of a catch up with the boys talking about video games. I've been playing a bunch of Rainbow. There was something else I played. I can't remember. It's a bunch of stuff, and I'll talk about it on next week's episode. Your questions will be answered next week. Any questions you have about not E3, please get them in. Crash, let's plug, get us out of it. We got to plug this week.
Podcast reviews. I'm going to assume that we have no podcast reviews.
Wow, making assumptions like that. Yeah,
I'd love to be a fool with that assumption. I would love to have egg on my face.
Egg on your face.
And you know what? You know what I do have on my face, Fix? nothing, no egg.
Yeah,
There's
none
new
either.
reviews.
Nope, none here either. None here either.
Leave reviews, please, guys. Go and like the stuff on the YouTube page as well that we've done whenever this there. Even if you listen to the audio only, go and drop a like. It helps. Leave a comment if you can. All that stuff helps.
Well, quick one for people watching on YouTube. You missed a whole predictions episode by not being subscribed to the podcast feed. So
that was on purpose.
You gotta be subscribed to us either on Apple or Spotify or Podbean or any of your favorite podcasts. There was an extra episode that went out just and only for podcast listeners, and that was definitely done 110% on purpose.
Yep.
Right, Despawn?
Yeah. Unrelated. I will be dealing with all scheduling going forward for totally unrelated reasons on YouTube.
Just don't go away again, please. Don't leave us.
Okay, I'm not going anywhere for a while, so you'll be okay. So yeah.
Perfect. Well, you will be. You'll be running away to crying babies. It won't be cameras being overheating. There'll be baby being thrown over them. You crying over the camera. I'm exhausted.
Like, what have you
Are you able to plug?
Far asleep. Yeah, tons of stuff on the Future Game Show channels. Go check out those things. We did a lot of work over the Summer Game Fest period. We did our Live from LA showcase, which followed the main summer showcase. Tons of cool games in that. I did a bunch of short form stuff as well. Coming out soon will be my in-depth reactions to the Resident Evil Requiem breakdowns. So yeah, everything we saw at that. So if you want any more in-depth details on that, go check it out. But yeah, Future Game Show, basically everywhere.
Basically everywhere, indeed. I've got nothing for you to plug, really. Like I say, patreon.com/mcfixer is the big one. Seriously, if you do enjoy content, you enjoy what we do, you enjoy this podcast, please support it financially. $5, less than a cup of coffee over in the UK, or in the US. £5 in the UK as our one. Support that art that you enjoy. I'm not saying this is art, this is dumb podcast, but support the things you like. You classify this as art? There's no way you classify this as art.
The way I've handled my breaking camera is like just it's a piece of art, yeah. Subscribe on Patreon so that I can get a new camera, because I think I'm going to need one soon.
That's fair. Until next time, we'll love you. Leave you. See you later. Good boy.